Congratulations, Shreya Ver. These are truly wonderful ATAR results, and it's fascinating talking to many of these students to hear where they are going next. So we wish each and every one of them well for the future, and I now give way to our 2020 College Ducks. Please make her welcome.
Good afternoon, Brother John, staff, students, and especially the high achievers of 2020 gathered here today. After what has been an exceptionally tough and eventful year, we as a group have accomplished an ideal we all shared, to make it through the HSC in one piece. Getting to this point was definitely challenging. We dealt with and continue to deal with uncertainty. But one thing I am certain about is that getting to this point undoubtedly took the efforts of many people outside of our cohort. It's an honor to stand here today. So before I can continue with sharing my high school experience, some sincere thank yous are in order to everyone who played a part in my HSC journey. To my wonderful parents and the rest of my family, you were my incredible support network and never doubted my abilities. Thank you for trusting that I knew what I was doing and keeping me mostly sane throughout this last year. To my tutor, teachers, and all the staff I met throughout my time at Trinity, especially those who taught me in my senior years of school. Your love of learning is contagious, and your dedication to your students is something I will always admire. To Mrs. Benfield, your patience and intelligence is remarkable. You somehow made the 9 hours I spent in your class every week doing math exercises more enjoyable than I thought possible. To Mrs. Robinson and Mrs. Parker, you never failed to make your students feel comfortable and accommodated. You're always there to listen and to offer advice, and even understood when we just wanted to do somewhat pointless things to de-stress from our hectic lives. And finally, to my friends and the rest of my cohort, going through high school and the stress of the HSC would have been impossible to handle alone. Having a group of people facing the same challenges and successes as myself has been something I've taken for granted in the past. But now looking back on it, I couldn't be more grateful for this group of intelligent and kind individuals. To everyone I've mentioned and many more, thank you. Now on to the hopefully informative part, the advice I have for all of you going through high school now. I could spend the next couple of minutes talking about how you should all get enough sleep and drink loads of water, make study groups, get organized, and improve your exam strategy. As useful as these things are, I'm sure you've all heard of them countless times before. So instead, I'm going to focus on a couple of things that I wish I had done differently during my time at school. And perhaps my experience can give you some pointers on your future. My biggest regret during my time at Trinity is not getting more involved with programs both inside and outside of school. And having spent the last month or so describing my life experience to university interviewers, I found myself repeatedly talking about the few things that I had been a part of, which prompted the realization that I could have learned a lot if I just spent more of my time beyond just the academic portion of school. So try as many different things as you can. That is, try to have as many experiences as possible. Getting involved in things like leadership activities, work experience, or teamwork type programs will help you become a more well-rounded person. And you'll learn various things just by taking part in them. Which leads me on to my next point, using the things you learn from your experience to help clarify or even create your goals. I know telling you guys to set goals is cliched and perhaps unnecessary, but it is something that I can't emphasize enough. These, of course, don't have to be long-term, be-all, end-all type goals pertaining to your career or some other cornerstone of your future. In my experience, the ones that had the biggest impact on my life were the short-term goals, things that gave me almost immediate satisfaction in completing them, like taking a minute and planning out how I'm going to approach my next task or exam. The key is to not get complacent and to keep setting small, achievable targets for yourself so that eventually when you do complete them, you'll in turn be motivated towards working into the next one. And the final piece of advice I can give, perhaps the most important, is that you shouldn't listen to me, or any other ex-student for that matter, on how to navigate through school. This is something that was said before by Edie Bush in her 2013 Duck speech, and it is somewhat ironic that I'm passing this as advice on to you, but it is undoubtedly true. I personally have had the pleasure of listening to the past 6 Duck speeches, and as useful as it was to hear about someone else's experience, it definitely didn't prepare me for the turbulent year that is the HSC, or in all honesty, just school in general. No 2 days are similar, and no 2 experiences are similar. Some days are going to be testing, and some days will be the complete opposite. Because yes, the HSC is hard, but there are countless enjoyable moments along the way, all of which trump the moments that aren't. I reckon the best thing that you can do is just make the most of the opportunities you do get, and enjoy the time ahead in your own way. To everyone here, I'm wishing you all the best in your upcoming years. To the high achievers, well done on your efforts. You absolutely deserve every bit of recognition and more. We've made it through one of the craziest years to date, and now we're all going our separate ways. So best of luck in your future endeavors. So goodbye, Trinity, and thank you once again.